Okay, so hello, this is going to be my March monthly favourites. First of all, if you're looking at me thinking, what's going on there? Yes, I have blue eyeliner on. One of my favourites has been wearing coloured eyeshadow. So if you're looking at me thinking, Jesus, that's a little bit different. Yes, it is. And screw you if you don't like it. I'm enjoying it. Anyway, getting into it, I think the first thing I'm going to talk about this month... Oh, I sound really husky all of a sudden. Hold on. Classy. So to start off, I've got my wee list of favourite things here. To start off, I'm going to talk about things that I've been watching, probably because I feel like this month there's been much more than there is usually. I don't usually go to the cinema a lot, and I don't usually watch an awful lot of telly. So to start off, I'm going to start talking about some TV programs that I've been watching, whether it's Netflix or just normal TV. The first one has been MasterChef. I think I am a bit of a addict when it comes to MasterChef, whether it's the original MasterChef or the celebrity MasterChef. I love it. I always watch it. Every year it comes on, I always watch it. So I would say through the month of March I've been addicted to that and loving that. The second thing is a Netflix. Can I just apologise? Because now the sun, we actually are lucky enough that at the moment March is very sunny, which is quite nice. It's still Scotland though, and it is freezing, and yesterday there was hailstones, so we can't count on the sun, because for a second there I was the right colour, and now the sun's disappeared and now it's going to come back. The second TV programme that I'm going to be speaking about is Umbrella Academy. This is a Netflix one. I don't know, I didn't see too many people speaking about it, and it's not Marvel, it's not like superhero-y in that sense. It's more based on a comic book that was out. I'm sure it's a guy from a band. Is it from Bloody Valentine? Something. I'm sure there is somebody that wrote this that's from like Panic at the Disco or My Bloody Valentine or something, some mad band like that, and I'm sure that they wrote it. But the Netflix series, it has Ellen Page from Juno, it has the guy that was in Misfits, now I can't quite remember his name, but overall it's fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched it back to back almost. Me and Alan started watching it one night. By the end of the week we were finished it. It was great. I highly recommend that. If you haven't looked at it, if you think that's your kind of thing, because I know some people will just be like, I'm not really into that. I'm not into, you know, Avengers. I'm not into this. I'm not into comic books. Fair enough. But I'm not a massive comic book like addict fan. You know, I don't go to Comic-Con, anything like that. And I really appreciated it, and I thought it was really good and quite well done as well. Some of the acting was a little bit sketchy at times. I don't know if it's just because it was the first like mainstream thing some of the actors had been in. Slightly sketchy, but overall a really good watch. The third TV show is Afterlife. This is by Ricky Gervais. I'm sure you have all heard of it. There has been a lot of hype around this show, and needless to say it is worth it. Now, I'm not a massive fan of Ricky Gervais. I do like Extras, or I did like Extras, and I do like the one he done An Idiot Abroad with Carl Pilkington. I like that too. The Office, I'm going to put it out there. I know there's going to be a lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people will be horrified that I'm saying it. It just wasn't for me. It never was something I was into. And now the American Office that everybody's watching, I've never watched it. I'm sorry. So for me, it's not about it being Ricky Gervais, but the actual story is fantastic. Now, a lot of things about this programme hit home personally to me, not because I've lost my husband or wife, not because I've lost a spouse, but when I lost my dad, a lot of the feelings that he conveys as this man is exactly how I felt. When you're grieving, when you're going through the loss of a loved one, you do feel a little bit like, fuck the world, and why are you even asking me that? There's so much more important things going on than my dog shitting in the park, you know. Are you really going to moan at me for this? And you do get this kind of chip on your shoulder, you get this kind of weight and nastiness about you, and you don't mean it. And even now I think I am much more impatient or a lot shorter than I was prior to my dad passing away. And I think throughout it, it is a black comedy, I suppose. It's funny, but there are parts of it that are really, really poignant, and parts of it that I'm like, yeah, like, I'm totally and utterly get that. I'm sure lots of other people felt like that too if they watched it. If you haven't watched it, then go and watch it. It's really, really good. There are parts of it that are really, really sad, and then there are parts of it that are just really, really funny. Not your obvious funny, it is kind of funny in a Ricky Gervais way, but it's fantastic. It works really well, it's done brilliantly, and I highly recommend you to watch that as well. It's right up there. I think anybody could watch that and appreciate it and think that was a really good show. You know, I'm saying about the Umbrella Academy, that might not be up your street, but I think anybody could watch Afterlife and just think this is really, really good. Now the last viewing favourite that I'm going to talk about is Captain Marvel. We went to see it earlier on the month in the cinema and I loved it. Now I do like Avengers, I do like Guardians of the Galaxy, things like that, but as I said earlier, I'm not an avid, like, absolute fan. But in saying that, this film to me was my childhood. Like, it's based in the 90s, it's everything that I wanted it to be, and I didn't know it was going to be that. It was a superhero film, the lead's a woman, fantastic, and she plays a really good part, but equally they're doing like dial-up internet and floppy disks and Blockbuster video, and you know, the soundtrack was what I would say I was listening to when I was growing up as a kind of middle teenager. There was Nirvana, there was No Doubt, there was, what else was there? There was just like so much stuff in it that made me feel so nostalgic. Now, I'd seen that this film had got not great reviews, and I'd seen a lot of people talking about it saying, oh, it's not as good as the other movies. And I wondered, obviously film critics may be older than myself, but I wondered if it was because there wasn't that connection, there wasn't that nostalgia. I wondered if I asked other people who were in their 30s, did you like that? What did you think of it? And I spoke to a guy in work who'd went to see it and he was like, oh my god, all the stuff from the 90s was so good. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Didn't really matter that it was an Avengers / Marvel film. It was just the fact that it had all this 90s stuff in it that I knew about, and I just thought, oh, our 9 Inch Nails t-shirt, the fact that he's reading Mallrats on the bus, sorry, there are spoilers if you haven't seen it yet, he's reading Mallrats on the bus, like Stanley's reading Mallrats, and I just think there's this little ode to him at the start as well, because obviously Stanley passed away, and I just thought it was a really, really good film, absolutely fantastic. And if you haven't seen it, then please get to cinema shortly, soon, quick, before it goes away, and go and see that. Look, see the sunlight, this is an issue. Okay, moving on to things that aren't just stuff that I've watched or seen. I'm talking about makeup, beauty, clothing, all that kind of stuff. First of all, I would like to say, Marks and Spencer's, whatever you've been doing this year, well done, well done. Everything that I've seen in your shop lately, and I always very much was like, Marks and Spencer's, a little bit funny-duddy. Marks and Spencer's always looks good in the adverts, can never find it in the shop. But Marky's, you have been on fire. I'm going to insert some pictures here of things that I've either picked up while I've been in there, tried on while I've been in there. I am in love with Marky's stuff at the moment. It's fantastic. In all honesty, the last few times I've been into Marks and Spencer's, I have had to stop myself buying the whole bloody shop. I love it. I love everything they're doing just now. I bought like a cream funnel neck top. I got some nice kind of cut off cropped jeans that were a perfect fit, the right size, none of this like having to size up or size down. It was a 12, I am a 12, and they fit. Everything that they've got at the moment is so on trend, stylish, but for all ages, and it just seems to go so well with all the women that I see wearing it, and kind of everyday stuff, everyday styling. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. I think everything that Marks and Spencer's are doing just now is spot on, and I feel a little bit like a granny saying that, but it's the truth. I'm then going to move on to two kind of skincare things. Now, You would have seen me speak about these in my, is it my Space NK? Yeah, Space NK, I'll put a link up here somewhere. Space NK / House of Fraser haul. They are both Kiehl's items. This one is the Powerful Strength Line Reducing Concentrate. It is a vitamin C serum, I suppose, with hyaluronic acid in it. And I think I'm probably about halfway down now. I've probably used about half of it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, it's supposed to brighten the skin. It's supposed to reduce kind of discoloration, what have you, round about the areas where you might have it. I have lots of kind of scarring from old pimples, what have you. And I think this really helps with that. I think I've had a bit more confidence just to go out without having to use any concealer and what have you on those areas. I think that it feels really nice. I think when I've been using it, it's very moisturising. Sometimes I've actually not bothered putting a moisturiser on after I've done this. Either that or I let it sink in for a good amount of time and then go back in with a moisturiser later. I love that it's got hyaluronic acid in it as well. I just think this is really doing wonders for my skin at the moment. In saying that, The Ordinary also do a vitamin C that I'm also very intrigued to use. I've tried the It's Skin stuff. I think this is better than that. Although it is more expensive, the It's Skin's around the £10 mark and it's a vitamin C serum, very watery serum, and doesn't have hyaluronic acid in it. Whereas this has hyaluronic acid in it as well. It's more luxurious, it feels more like a cream. Does that mean that it's necessarily doing any better or any worse? I think my skin looks brighter. It looks more radiant since I've been using this. I will purchase it again. I might try the Ordinary one first and then go back to this just to see if there's any kind of real reason for it having such a high price tag. But I think it's great. I am loving it and I have had it on every single day this month. Next up is the other one that I bought when I was in Kiehl's, and it is the Glow Formula Skin Hydrator. Now this has pomegranate extract, instantly illuminates skin and provides antioxidant protection. Now, I'm not going to claim this has any like skincare properties. I'm not entirely sure if it does, but I've spoke before about my number 7 kind of illuminating balm, the pinky one. This one is a closer match to Neod's photography fluid, the opacity 8, but it's not as dark, which for me is fantastic. So it's more of a golden tan glow, which as we're coming into spring and summer is something that I'm quite interested in. I love the fragrance of it. It's got that nice kind of citrusy smell to it, which is very similar to the It Cosmetics CC cream. I feel it just brightens up dull skin. Sometimes, like especially if I've been going to work in the morning, all I have on is this. I don't bother with a CC or a BB cream, anything like that when I'm going to work. It's just this with a little bit of concealer. And it's fabulous. It's great. It makes you look luminous. It makes you look kind of alive and as if you've got, not a tan, I wouldn't say a tan, I am quite a pale person, but it makes you look a little bit like, you know, you've had a really good facial. How does that sound? Makes you look like you've had a really good facial. So. I wouldn't say that I've used as much of this as I have of the vitamin C. I think I'm only probably to about here with this. They're both 50 mils. I've definitely used more of this because I probably use 2 or 3 pumps of this every time I use it. Whereas this, I used to use 1 each time, but it's fantastic. Loving it. Next up, as I said, is coloured liners. Now today I have blue on. Now what I have on today is a Kiko product. It is their long lasting stick, 8-hour shadow stick. In 44 because they don't have names, and it is a bright blue colour. You'll see here. I have put some powder shadow over the top of this, and I've got a bit of Lumi highlight from Sugar Pill in the inner corner, but this has been the basis of my blue eyeliner eyeshadow look. I also done a green look on my Instagram the other day. I'll pop a little photo in here. I also done a yellow look kind of the week before that. I have been loving coloured eyeshadows and eyeliners for spring. I think comes to this time of year where I'm not quite ready to be a bronzed goddess yet. I'm not quite ready to just be wearing, you know, no makeup and maybe a little flush of bronzer on the cheek. But I forget sometimes just how much I enjoy playing with makeup. the reason that I fell in love with makeup in the first place, I always loved colour. So I've kind of whipped out the colour again and tried to get back into that because, you know, what's the point in just doing a nude lip and a nude eye every single day? Like, you know, we've got all these things to play with, so why leave them sitting in my drawers? So I also have the Kiko Intense Colour Long Lasting Eyeliner, and this is in number 7. It's a very bright green colour, and the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Rocky Mountain Green. The yellow look, however, was Max Chrome Yellow. I will be putting a video up to show me actually putting on that eyeshadow look, because when I went to the book signing of Anna from Ada Edits, an Edited Life tour, that's when I actually done that makeup, and I did do a get ready with me, so that will come shortly. I'm now going to go on and talk about some lip products. So one is a re-reach from last year, an old one. It is the NARS Orgasm Balm. Is it Afterglow Balm? Yeah, Afterglow Lip Balm. I know they have these in all different colours now. They do them in pink, they do it in clear, they do it in gold, I don't know. There's lots of different packaging. This is the rose gold one because it is the Orgasm Balm, and it's so easy. It's just a really sheer wash of pink on the lip, and I have that on today, but underneath I have on the Revolution Renaissance lipstick. I want to say Renaissance lipstick. I'm not entirely sure if that's the proper name of it, but it's the one that looks like the dupe for Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. And this is in Prime. Prime is a little bit pale for me, but when I pair these together, this is the look it gives me on my lips, and I'm quite enjoying that at the moment. Kind of verging on orangey nude, which for me is something a little bit different. And then I wanted to speak about the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir, what is it called? Yeah, the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. Now, I only have a kind of trial size of this. I got it in my Latest in Beauty box, and I have to say, annoyingly, this is really good. I'm really, really enjoying this. And I know it's a trial size, and sometimes I'll be like, oh, it's not a good representation of the actual product. And I don't know if I would pay full price. I just really hate paying ridiculous prices for mascara because it doesn't last that long. And I think you get high street ones that work just as well, and they're so much more affordable. But in saying that, I've never tried Marc Jacobs makeup before. I've only ever kind of used testers and Sephora and things when I've been abroad. And I actually really, really like this. Annoyingly, I really, really like this. So maybe if I'm feeling a bit flush in myself, maybe if I feel I want to treat myself, I will go and pick this up full price, but the likelihood is slim. But it has been what has been on my eyelashes throughout the month of March. And finally, another kind of re-reach into what I was using last year is the NARS Orgasm Blush. This is the big massive one. Just get it out because it will be shining on the camera light. This is one of these really big orgasms. You get smaller ones, but this is the kind of massive sized one. I have found myself reaching for this more and more often as we come into the spring months and see a little bit more sunshine. It's just so easy to pop it on to have colour on your cheek, but also then have a little bit of a highlight as well, and that's what I've been really enjoying. So I've also been reaching for that again. I'm also really, really excited about the Glossier Play and Milk makeup having now come to the UK. I haven't purchased anything yet, but it's something that I've been really enjoying in March, looking at all the videos of people reviewing it and talking about it. I will be purchasing some more Glossier soon just because other things are running out that I own. I may pick up some of the Glossier Play stuff. Let me know if you think that would be of interest to you to see a kind of review on that. I know there's 1,000,001 on YouTube now and loads of people have done them, but a kind of honest, I'm not an influencer and I don't get paid to talk about brands review. Just being honest. And I reckon that's maybe me. I think maybe the only other thing to mention is maybe some nice hair clips. Was it last month or the month before? Maybe January. I was talking about hair bands. Still loving hair bands, still wearing them all the time. But also I've picked up a few of these little barrette type things, curvy grip type things, and I've been absolutely loving them this month too. So I think that's it though. I think that's everything for March. It hasn't been a terribly busy month. Mainly has been all the things that I've been watching that I've been loving. And sorry if the beauty bits are a little bit like, yeah, you mentioned that before, but I think you've got to reuse your things. You've got to use up the stuff you've got. there is no point in just going out and buying new shit for the sake of it. So I'm not going to be doing that just to get more views. So if you enjoyed this, if you like this video, then please give it a little thumbs up. If you enjoy my videos, then you can also subscribe. There will be a little button of my face at the end of this video. And you can follow me over on the likes of Instagram and of Twitter. They will be flying about here somewhere, no doubt. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you are loving this month, and let me know if you have tried any of these products, if there's anything in particular that I've spoke about today that you've thought, yep, I'm absolutely there, I'm with you on that one. Then please have a little chat below in the comments. That would be lovely. I would love to come and see your video. If you've got one too, then please let me know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!